LAPD, and this is what they've been doing, back and forth and amplifying it, and then running and scramming after I come out to get it on video. That's hyper amplification. You see how they're flying at that same amplification and activity creation when they're way down yonder. It's demonic. Okay, it's impossible that I would hear it when they're super far away. You see me walk out, I walk out very quickly, and they're at a great distance. This is demonic activity, and this is very, very demonic what they're doing right now. This is called patrolling. These are demons, and these are demons that are in positions of government, in positions of authority in the state, and this is the system of federal group stalking and monitoring, and they're practicing demonic conduct. This is the pattern of conduct, but you're looking at them engaging in the outward demonstration of demon possession, that amplified audible activity, this flying around in a circle. And I want to be clear, the people of the state are fully holding hands in hands, they're threatening together. Okay, this is going toward, again, Rita Vega's going to federal prison. She was monitoring with them, threatening me with them. These are the breaks when you want to engage in group stalking with the government that likes to use helicopters to threaten you. For threatening me, I'm going to capture it on video, and then it's going to be relevant to how long you're sitting in federal prison. The Los Angeles Police Department is going to cease to exist. That's light activity that you see that helicopter creating in the sky space. They're doing it under the specific environment in relevant position. That distance is called relevant position. They're flying in circles all around the perimeter of where I'm at, where engineered light and where the light source remains. And this is speaking to what the Upland Police Department were doing in helicopter, because there's no sun that would ever be anywhere in Upland, let alone over me, where I was located outside of the Upland City Hall and the Upland Public Library. But it wasn't over the Upland City Hall while I was in the library. It was directly over the roof over my head while I was inside of the Upland Public Library, just like you see it here over my head in Los Angeles at the Building 1810 in North Alvarado Street in Los Angeles, 90026, what is at the same time, which is impossible. But it's a pattern. That phenomenon in and of itself is speaking to nothing other than a pattern which is very specific and impossible to coincidentally occur, while you're also looking at what is present by law enforcement agencies who are practicing a satanic method of targeting someone. And while I'm exposing their targeting system, the demon possessed that are wearing badges and that are in positions wearing authority, flying helicopters, are threatening my life right now, and it's being captured on video. That's why they're going to be removed from their positions. And the people of the state that are in relevant position, all of them, they live here with children. They're engaging in this state terrorism, this mass sex offense with this entity. They're all being documented together. Understand, this is a vicarious criminal system. They do it vicariously in the specific environment. So Jose's sons is here in relevant position, facilitating. They're present, creating activity, creating amplified audible activity. The entity is present, Mesrop, using a company name. It's the people of the state. Malicious engagement in the pattern of conduct, while the entity is then flying around in circles around. And again, this is what the demonic do. They freak out when I expose them. They freak out. That's a psychopath. That's a psychopath. All right, a psychopath in that regard. They freak out. You saw the plane hovering over. You saw Mesrop speed onto. They're pulling up and pulling back. No, they're not looking for a parking spot. They're pacing around. All right, and then pacing above me in the planes and in the helicopters. I go back to my office, and the entity is amplifying helicopter activity repeatedly and then flying off. All right, the entity is engaging in what is witnessing its own exposure. And while the entity is freaking out, understand that's a threat to your life. You're going to be paid for that. Okay, and I want to be clear, there is no law that can quantify that level of a harm and a threat. Oh, but justice requires you're going to try, you're going to address it. But also, this is a matter of justice. It's not about getting some certain dollar amount, but you are necessarily draining the pockets, and you are necessarily removing from existence companies, removing from existence the ability to have a certain type of job in the future, live in a certain neighborhood where they're posing a threat, removing from places of positions of authority, removing from office. You're necessarily doing that because this is the system at work. This is demonic. The same way that you saw them flying in the sky space side by side in helicopter, this one is going back and forth. And remember, they're doing it in engineered light that's magnified, that creates multiple shadows under a light source that remains for 12 hours a day, which is never possibly anywhere in Upland, California, as it's documented maintenance of presence is here. This is demonic what they're engaging in, and they're exposing to the world, they being the Los Angeles Police Department, the state of California. Understand that the LAPD is not, they're not demons acting by themselves. The demons live all around. The demons are using weed whackers right now. Jose and Sons. The demons are present in relevant position living at Alvarado Gardens. The demons are my employer, and they're being documented while I'm subject to workplace harassment and terrorism. All of this is going for the demise of that entity that is squarely surrounded with what is irreconcilable evidence. Not only based on the pattern of conduct itself, you have what is beyond a pattern, that you've got law enforcement agencies doing the same thing under what I'm pointing out to do, this weird light. That's a pattern. Under what is the maintenance of a light source, that's not even, that can possibly, that's a pattern. That's a pattern. Okay, in and of itself, that's just a small picture. As you're looking at, there is no getting out of it. And what does the entity do while it's witnessing exposure? It freaks out. That unstable psychopath, which is the state of California, you're going to put them away in mental facilities. You're going to put them away in federal prison. You're going to remove them permanently from the positions that they currently hold. It's currently 10:59 a.m. and this is going toward the prosecution. I want to be clear. Figure 8, Sarah Chambliss, and trying to engage in obstructing justice while I'm capturing video, while LAPD is group stalking a helicopter. Yeah, she's going to federal prison for that. This is P.O.C. I want you to get the light source. It's right over my head here, where it remains all day. This is my shadow. Don't be mistaken. It's nowhere in Upland, California. All right, and everything that's occurring in the environment is serving for ongoing monitoring in concert. This is pacing coming from both corners. This is P.O.C. That's P.O.C. in the same way that the entity is pacing in a helicopter, okay? And they're just around me in the immediate environment. A whole people, Glendale Boulevard, all in areas that you can't see. This is massive state monitoring. An entire government, an entire people, society are monitoring me together. This is P.O.C.